I'd like to call to order the City of North Ridgeville Planning Commission meeting for November 12th, 2024. Madam Secretary, please call roll.
Ali,
Present.
Toth,
Here.
Schumann's excused, Abens,
Here.
Smolik,
Here.
members of the administration, Assistant Law Director Morgan, Planning and Development Director Lieber, City Engineer Evanson.
Okay, everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Has everyone had a chance to review the regular meeting minutes from October 8th, 2024? Are there any corrections at this time? Hearing none, those minutes shall stand and be filed. I believe we have some administrative approvals and zoning certificates. Director Lieber, if you don't mind sharing us with those.
Yes, Mr. Chair, since your last meeting, we've approved 2 new business applications. One is for Situ's Restaurant, which will be like Lebanese cuisine going in the Giant Eagle Plaza where the ice cream store, Moodtown Creamery, went out. And then also Italian Coffee, a new coffee shop, I believe, in the vacancy of Charm Boutique. So we're seeing some turnover in those spaces, which is positive. As for other planning project updates, the zoning code diagnosis is getting into final form. Probably before the end of the week, you'll get a draft copy emailed to you. There'll be a presentation, a joint presentation to Council and Planning Commission on Monday, December 2nd, and then you'll have the opportunity to follow that up at your December meeting with any discussion or additional recommendation on the diagnosis in preparation for then moving ahead with the redrafting of the zoning code at that point. So you have some work ahead of you over the next couple weeks to look over that information. As for our active transportation plan, we have a final draft that we're pulling together that will be also probably at your December meeting would come to you for review, and we're recommending the commission take some action. Once that process is wrapped up, we've already begun looking for some funding sources to implement parts of that plan. So we even have a pending application for a sidewalks project on Bagley Road out to Nowaka now, and having that plan completed timely is part of our strategy to obtain funding with that sidewalk project. And last but not least, we're still working on the Lorraine Lear traffic study. We're collecting some additional data from Nowaka to look at growth rates over the next 20 years to refine the study and the recommendations. As for the Bainbridge route and Bainbridge 83 traffic study, our consultant is working with us to prepare a safety application for a future roundabout at Route and Bainbridge. So we're working on that now to submit in January. So that concludes my updates. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, I believe there's no old business before the commission, so our new business. Madam Secretary, read the only applicant for tonight.
PPZ 2024-0307 University Hospitals Urgent Care 34548 Center Ridge Road, PPN 07-000-101-054 applicant Madison Walkama, HSB Architects 1250 Old River Road, Cleveland, Ohio 44113. Proposal consists of constructing a 4,000 square foot urgent care building. Property is zoned B3 Highway Commercial District.
Okay. Director Lieber, findings of fact.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This proposal consists of constructing new medical offices and site improvements. Medical offices are permitted use in the B3 Highway Commercial District. This future UH urgent care will be sharing the lot with the existing vacant commercial building that was formerly Scooters. When the site was developed for Scooters, Planning Commission members might recall that the pad of this area was prepared as part of that Scooters project, anticipating that there would be some type of future building in this location. So this is what that project is at this point. At the time Scooters was developed, certain site improvements were made, including the stormwater management, which was anticipated to serve the full build out of the site. So this will be, a new medical facility with a main entrance on the north side of the building. But the applicant, I think, has done a really nice job of including architectural detail on all the sides. So including, the north side faces the north residential area and the south faces Center Ridge. We did request the applicant to bring color material samples tonight, so I think they did. Saw a board walk in the door here. The landscape plan includes mainly foundation plantings and several trees. We did have our city arborist, recently promoted to the position, take a look at the landscape plan, and he offered some notes and some changes which have been incorporated into that landscape plan. They will be utilizing the existing curb cut that serves the site, and that also provides cross-access between the urgent care, the car wash, the auto parts store, and the former scooters. The applicants also provided a pedestrian route from the sidewalk that's in the right-of-way and then connecting to the urgent care entrance, and then also across the drive to that former restaurant space for the future. Parking is ample, 20 spaces are required, 36 proposed. The lighting plan looks good. There's new building-mounted light fixtures, primarily around the building perimeter and the sidewalks and entrances. There's also some pole-mounted fixtures in the parking lot, but those fixtures are code compliant. Illumination levels look good. They'll be expanding the existing dumpster in the northeast portion of the site to add on their trash facilities there. It is completely a zoning compliant project with the exception of signage, so the applicant will have to later submit a sign package. They will be wanting a separate ground sign, which will require a variance, and then probably a little over on the square footage for the building, but that will be a matter for the BZBA. As of the revised version that the commission received, all of my staff comments at least have been incorporated into the version that was presented to you. That concludes my report.
Yeah, you'll be given that opportunity.
Thank you. All right, is there someone who represents the application? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, city engineer.
Although Ms. Lieber has presented quite a thorough summary, I do have a few additional comments. The project has all utilities available on site. There is an existing 8-inch sanitary main running through the north side of the site. There is an existing 12-inch water main along Center Ridge that they could tap into. There is an existing fire hydrant along Center Ridge in proximity to the building. Therefore, no additional fire hydrants are needed. As Ms. Lieber mentioned, the existing stormwater basin that went in originally with the advanced auto parts store has underwent additional modifications when the Scooters Coffee Shop came in and is currently sized to include the proposed improvements of the urgent care facility. The drive aisles also have ample room for emergency services as shown in the plan set submitted. And one final thing I wanted to mention, there will be a separate water and sewer tap fee affiliated with this business, and I do have examples of each of those that I could share after the meeting with you folks. And that concludes my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
You're fine.
Assistant Law Director, anything?
No, everything's been covered, no legal issues.
All right, thank you. All right, is there someone who represents the application here? Do you mind stating your name and address for a record? And fill us in any additional information you think is pertinent to this submission.
Good evening. My name is Ben Gingrich with HSB Architects. I'm joined by Mickey Mann from Edge Development.
Hi, Mickey Mann representing Edge Development in the Shops on Center Ridge, property owner, address 5050 Detroit Road, Sheffield Village, Ohio.
Thank you.
All right. Kim, you really summed up our project very thoroughly. So there's not much more to say really, except that we're really excited for this development here. Our building, as you mentioned, is proposed to use really high quality materials. We tried to look at setbacks and areas around us and try to match similar materiality. We're using masonry on the project, stucco on the uppers, really nice large windows and wall sconces, which are all going to be a nice building element. We can flip through the drawings a little bit if that's helpful, or we can just answer questions. So whichever.
Did you want to go over your sample boards with us?
Sounds great. So, okay. So the building itself. 4,000 square feet. Consists of brick around the whole lower portion of it, all the way up to about, I think, 10 feet of brick. We have some alternating brick underneath the windows. So the main field color of brick is this tan here. And we have a smaller chip, but I hope you can see it, and you're welcome to come up after, of this accenting sort of darker brown that we're doing under the windows. I think that's going to be a nice contrast. It's going to give a little bit of depth to the building. The frames are all planned to be black aluminum, and we have protection for pedestrians, which also gives us some pedestrian scale, with some nice canopies over the entrances. In the upper parts, we have proposed to use this sort of stucco. It's a hardy panel for all the panels above, which is a really nice product that installs really cleanly. So it's a modern look. We're using kind of traditional materials. That was the goal of the project. So we'd be happy to answer any questions and look for anything you need. Necessarily need to go through every sheet, I think, but I'm happy to pick any sheet in the set you'd like to and go to that and answer any questions.
Okay, first I'm going to open it up to the floor for the general audience. Is there any members of the general audience who has questions or comments in regards to this submission? Did he want to speak? Sir, up front? Did you want to?
No, I just have a complaint about the mayor. This is nothing to do with this.
Well, this is not the venue for that. Okay. At this time, I will close public comments. Is any of the commission members have any questions or comments in regards to this submission? I guess I have one question. As far, the retention basin was originally built for the auto parts store. I'm assuming when when Scooters was developed, water quality was taken into.
That is correct. So when Scooters went in, we updated to the current requirements of the stormwater and water quality measures. So, and they had taken into account a full build out of this particular area, so there shouldn't be any need to do any modifications to the basin.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. Is there any other questions or comments? Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman. Comment that I have is, I guess it relates to your facility that's on Lorraine Road. When it was first proposed and when it first came under operation, you did have emergency urgent care facility or services in that, and then it was closed during pandemic and never reopened. Apparently, they're not planning on reopening that. It's somewhat of a concern that now you're building this, but abandoning that particular urgent care area.
I can't speak to that. All we can really speak to is our current project.
Okay.
But as we've seen, these have gone up in communities, it's increased access to care. So we view that as a net positive.
I guess this is a joint venture. This isn't University Hospital together, right? It's a joint venture with a.
Venture with Wells Street.
Okay, so
It's a provider working alongside university hospitals.
perfect. Thank you.
The other question I have too is, I notice you're using modular panels in this project. Is that accurate?
So if you guys don't mind, you want to go so we could get you guys on the record. Sorry about that. Just makes meeting minutes easier to take.
Yes, so the whole lower portion, lower portion of the building, which is more susceptible to salt and damage, is all that masonry you see on the board there. The upper portions, we're using a hardy panel, which is a modular panel, but it's a really durable product. We found it to be much more durable than you've
So that's
probably
what you
seen.
meant by modular panel, is the panels of hardy board, whatever.
Yeah, which I don't know if I consider modular. A lot of times when you think modular, you think like a
That's
whole
what I
wall
was-
that's constructed. That's not the case here. Although it looks jointed, it's not the case. But we found them to be pretty durable and long-lasting materials, which was the goal, since the owner's right here and he's got to maintain it for many years.
I'm familiar with the product.
Yeah,
I am a proponent of it.
great.
And I could just touch briefly on the urgent care aspect. So it is a partnership between Wall Street and University Hospital. There's 30 some odd locations coming throughout Northeast Ohio. And the urgent care aspect, it's more of like a retail convenience front as a feeder access into the hospital system. So that's kind of a national trend we're seeing, and this partnership with University Hospital. It's being rolled out throughout Northeast Ohio now.
Okay. And about 20 employees scheduled for full-time employment?
That's what we're hearing, yeah.
Okay.
The most recent one, there's one off Crocker Road in Westlake, there's one off Detroit Road in Avon, so they're certainly rolling out some of our direct adjacent neighborhoods here.
Okay, thank you. All right, is there any other questions? Go ahead.
Yes, sir. I had a question regarding the parking. And our paperwork stated that you have 20 spaces required with 36 proposed. My question would be to the administration, if and when the Scooters building becomes reoccupied, are we going to be able to fit everybody in there with the parking requirements?
Yes, especially since that building was designed as a drive-through only. It doesn't create great demand for parking because of the limited number of employees that it can host.
Thank you.
Okay. At this time, the chair will entertain a motion. I make a motion to approve, or I should say, recommend approval.
Second.
Madam Secretary, please call roll.
Ali,
Yes.
Toth,
Yes.
Abens,
Yes.
Smolik.
Yes.
Motion carries unanimously.
All right, well, thank you.
Thank you.
I believe there's no other business brought before the commission at this time, so we adjourn. Good night, everybody.